Hello.
And
Welcome
to Film
Bastards. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome, people, to episode 508 of Film Bastards. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever, I am joined by
Ian Loring. Hello.
And Bex is on her way home, so we'll be here with us later on. But we've got a triple bill of horror this week, don't we? We have a few catch-up review, a PVOD review, and an actual cinema review. So we've got The Last Voyage of the Demeter, we've got Boogeyman, and we have The Nun 2, or as it's stylized, like The Nun E.
Nunt woo, baby. Nunt woo.
So yes, we've got some films there, plus some bits of what we've been watching. I believe Ian's watched a trilogy this week.
Have I?
Yeah, did you not? Did you not watch the? I don't want to give it away, but the.
I watched the third one.
No, what? All right, you've watched the first two parts of the trilogy.
Yeah.
I've banged in a trilogy this week.
Nice.
Yeah. Plus, we've got the usual news, trailer talk, and other bits and pieces as we go along. We are a Pod Syndicate podcast. Go listen to other Pod Syndicate podcasts, such as The Rewatch Project, Chinstroker versus Punter, Gaming Landfill, The Good, the Bad, and the Odd, and other ones out there. But listen to this one first. Yeah, so that's all that bit out of the way. Ian, this is the usual bit where I go, what's been happening in the news? But I'm going to rephrase it this week and say, what's been happening in the tech news?
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
We always do a little bit of, I think, of the Apple ones. We always do a little bit of a catch-up on them. It's how I learn what happened.
Yeah, I mean, look, personally, I don't think too much. Like, there's been a lot of chat in our chat, but I did all my upgrading last year. So, like, you know, if you've got an iPhone 14 Pro, it don't need any flavour of the iPhone 15. That's for damn sure. It's got USB-C now, which Apple were really trumpeting, despite the fact the only reason why they're going USB-C is because the EU said that they can't use Lightning ports anymore. It's a bit lighter. And the Pro's got a better camera. The iPhone 15 is basically the iPhone 14 Pro, but without the camera in the Pro last year. And then the iPhone 15 Pro will probably be the same as the iPhone 16 next year. It's basically how they seem to be doing that now. But if you're upgrading from a 13, then hey, you get the dynamic island, and the dynamic island is a wonderful place to be. If you're upgrading from a 12, it'll probably be a little bit game changey. 12 and back, it will be a lovely experience. But
I think I'm on a 13.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's the first time in a number of years where I've been, no, I'm just not going to upgrade. Like, I wasn't planning on it last year, but then the dynamic island happened. And I love the dynamic. I genuinely find the dynamic island really useful for timers and shit. And walking directions.
Oh, so that's the little bit that comes up at the top of the screen, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And yeah. So I quite like the dynamic island. The watch essentially is almost unchanged from the last few years. The Ultra 2 is very, very similar to the Ultra. I think you can find your iPhone using just your watch now. But to be fair, you can also do that, as I will do now, by
finding your iPhone. Yeah.
So, you know, there you go. So it feels like, if you're not a madman like me who likes to upgrade every year most of the time, you know, you may well find some good use out of this stuff, but it is incredibly iterative at this point, which, you know, what else does a phone like needs to offer these days?
That's it. There's only so much that a phone can do. I mean, there's a phone can do. There's only so much that I will do with a phone. So I don't. My phone probably does a shitload more than I will ever use. Uh, so it's for me every I think I've gone 3 years this time without upgrading, just because last year I just decided to not upgrade because I didn't need to.
Yeah, and I mean, next year I will probably phone and watch, and I think there'll be new AirPods Pros next year as well. But it's yeah, you're just waiting for that next thing. I mean, the fact that the new phone can take 3D video that you can then watch in the headset feels like something cool for the future. Like if I was buying the new Pro, I'd probably film quite a lot of 3D stuff just to bank it up. Like especially of like the dog and things like that. But yeah, and that's the thing. That was it as well. Like the presentation was a little over an hour long. They had like a 5-minute long thing where it was Octavia Spencer playing Mother Nature while they were talking about sustainability, which is great. It's great. It's also the symptom of they don't have that much to talk about.
My thing always is though when you have big companies that will talk about sort of sustainability and bits like that, I'm always very much like, give me bollocks a little bit. Coming from you a little bit. You're going to do something that you will that nobody will be able to prove whether or not you're talking crap or not.
I mean, they're saying that they're going to get like independent people in to verify all this kind of stuff, but it is a lot of
Words.
wank,
Yeah,
and words. And
in 2030 we'll have done this. Like that's 7 years time, and how does it affect my phone right now?
Yeah, quite. So hey, it's it was a slick presentation, and the phones look good. Like they look cracking, and I would, if I was in the market, I'd be really, really pleased. I mean, like the camera on my phone, Donna uses my phone to take photos a lot. She doesn't use her phone much. She's on a Pixel 6, I want to say. Yeah, Pixel 6. And she does not use her phone all that often. But she likes Android, so like that I'm never gonna convince her. But if you're in the market, and also they're a bit cheaper than they were last year. Like the iPhone 13 starts at £799, which sounds like a fair bit, but the Pixel's probably going to be £599, £699 this year. You're not paying that much more for an iPhone, which I genuinely think is a better all-round experience. And I'm like, but then last year was cool, but it was mainly iOS where like you could have customized wallpapers and change like the font of the kind of like text on your wallpaper and stuff like that. I feel like the hardware stuff has reached a point where it's like, well, it's the user experience stuff. Like the watch the new watch has this interesting thing that's called like double tap, I think, where on the wrist, that the hand where it's on, the watch is on your wrist. If you double tap your thumb and your index finger, it basically acts as like a play pause or like answer call, stop call.
That's pretty fucking cool, though, isn't it?
Which like that.
Unless you're at a jazz club.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I think that's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, I was literally just going, all right, that's pretty fucking cool, actually. Yeah.
And it's that quality of life stuff that it feels like they need to focus on now. Like they always talk about how much more powerful they are, And it's like, if you've got a phone within the last 2-3 years, have you really ever gone, oh, that's a bit slow?
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
like, so yeah, I'm a little down on it, but at the same time, like, Noel and Jord are both planning on upgrading, and it's like Noel's coming from a 12 mini.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I'll be upgrading literally because like my upgrade's a year overdue, and I can't go a day. I can't go full day on my battery.
okay, so you are as well. That's interesting. Cool,
Yeah,
cool, cool.
so it's one of those whereby if my battery lasted a full day, I probably wouldn't bother. My phone is fine, you know, and there's no scratches on it. There's nothing wrong with it. Do I wish it had a little bit of a bigger memory? Maybe, but it's not. I don't really store that much on my phone. So yeah, but it is that literally I can have it fully charged when I go into work, and I don't use my phone often for work. I do use it a bit at work, but I will have to charge it at some point before I finish.
Yeah, and I mean, like, so I'm looking at my phone now. I took it off charge at like basically 6 this morning. It's got 30% left.
Oh, I took mine off charge when I set off at when I got up at 4. And bear in mind, I wasn't really using it for a lot of that time, and it was plugged into my CarPlay until like 5:30. So effectively, it had been fully charged at 5:30 when I went into work, and I was having to recharge it because it had hit 36% at about 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah. So like I wasn't watching videos on it or anything like that. I wasn't taking photos. It was literally the odd sending a text, you know, fucking, you know, as I'm walking around. Because sometimes on the morning, a lot of my job is walking from one place to another to pick things up. So I'll have a quick scroll and bits like that. So there was bits like that, but there was no heavy duty work on it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's time. You know, that's time to upgrade. You know, and I'm sure you'll really like it. I mean, like, seriously, like the camera on these fucking phones these days, and like for night photography as well, they're wonderful. They're so good.
Well, the thing is, I'm looking at, and you pointed something out which did make me go, that's a little bit naughty, that is, Apple, of the fact that of the colour comparisons of them being, and this was what you said, so I'm not stealing anything, I'm definitely crediting Ian on this one, was the standard sort of version, the 15, is very Barbie, and then the Pro, what is it ones, is like the Oppenheimer colours, and you are quite right. But then it does feel a little bit like they do feel almost like they're going, "Hey guys, you want the max, don't you? Girls, you'll be alright with this."
Yeah, I mean, are you going for the 15 or the 15 Pro?
I might go Pro. I'm just going to see just how much extra it's going to be for me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
Because the thing is, I'm looking at it going, I care because I would like one of those colours. Do I care? The tech doesn't really affect me that much. And do I care enough if it's going to cost me an extra like 25-30 quid a month? Probably not.
So, like, the 15 starts from 799. The Pro starts from 999. So over a 24-month contract, say, that's gonna be less than a tenner a month extra.
Yeah, which you know, if you said to me, "Hey, you can have this, or you can have this, and it'll cost you like an extra 8 quid a month, but it'll be in a colour you like," I'm kind of looking at it going, "Do you know what? I maybe might be swayed by that."
Yeah, and look, with the Pro, you get the ultra wide camera as well, which I actually use quite a lot. I'll be absolutely honest. You'll get a better battery. And does it have, yeah, so it's also got on the side, it's got what they're calling an action button, which instead of the mute like rocker, the mute unmute rocker. It's a button that you can program to kind of launch something, and like most people seem to be going like, oh, it'll just be my open the camera button. And like on I think that would actually be really useful to just have it on the side, like especially if it's like something you need to take a photo of real quick. Just press camera up, shoot, and you don't get that with the 15. I will say, saying that, they've got an action button on the Ultra as well, and it is the most useless fucking thing in the world. But then there's not so many things that you necessarily need to open really quickly on your watch. So like I press it, it just opens the workout app, which I actually need to remember because all I ever do is go to the menu and scroll to workout.
That's it, isn't it? It's the shortcut bits that you install, and then you never use them as shortcuts. Exactly that.
But yeah, I don't know. Next year will probably. I'll be honest. Next year, if the watch, they're going to do a watch redesign. If it comes with a bigger screen and the kind of battery that's in the Ultra now, I'll probably downgrade the Ultra. Just like people do, like in when I'm in the office, people go like, "What's that?" You know, just like kind of like a "What the fuck is that?" You know, and you know, it's like it doesn't. It looks like something a fucking scuba diver would use, and that's the whole kind of like that's the whole thing that they're going for. They're going for like the extreme sports people, and like Noel was taking the piss out of me yesterday, saying like, "Oh, I bet you'll be taking it up the mountain this weekend," you know, like, and it's like I bought it because it's got a really fucking good battery and a bigger screen. I prefer the form factor of the traditional Apple Watch.
It's one of those, yeah. The thing is, I'm itching for a new watch, but yeah, they just don't. I just don't think that they've got anything that they can go enough to say, right, this is the upgrade. They've reached a little bit of a tech plateau, but maybe not in terms of the actual. I think the tech is definitely improving, but it's how they can best sort of show off with it.
The next thing that I think will be really good for the watch, we're working on this for years, is the non-invasive blood glucose monitoring.
Yeah.
Like being able to kind of monitor that kind of thing. Just like the more these things can do for like health benefits, you know, I think would really be wonderful. Like last year, the last watch and the Watch Ultra, they introduced like the body temperature thing, and you know that's actually really interesting because it was like, and it works because when I had COVID, what was that last year? It fucking spiked, you know, and it's like it's just for like when you're feeling a little bit under the weather, it's actually quite reassuring to just have a look at the body temperature thing and like see whether you're actually peaking at all. Yeah. But it's a little bit of an edge case, don't get me wrong, but it's like the watch. I mean, it's fascinating because the watch originally they advertised it as like a fashion icon thing. What the fuck was the name of that book that I listened to the audiobook of? There was this audio after Steve, which was like basically chronicling after Steve Jobs died, what happened with Apple through focusing on Johnny Ive for like one chapter, focusing on Tim Cook for another. And they were talking about how Johnny Ive like conceived of the watch as like this beautiful thing and it was going to be fashionable. And then within a year, like reaction and sales had died off so much that they just completely re-geared it. And it was like this one of the things that kind of drove Johnny Ive like to start breaking away from Apple, because it was like a big thing for Johnny Ive and they just completely took it in a different direction. But it was right. Taking it in a health direction was the right thing to do. The fact it's got an ECG on there, the fact that it monitors blood oxygen. As I'm going into my 40s with like a guy with like a pretty fucking serious history of heart disease on my dad's side, it's going to be reassuring in the future. It's like as soon as I get anything about AFib on this fucker, I'm booking in time with the doctor.
The thing is, you're not going to get it to be a fashion watch, because watches already exist, and there's an element of people like to have a nice watch. And don't wrong, I have an Apple Watch and I like my Apple Watch and it is a nice watch, but the health thing of it, and using it as a fitness thing or as a health monitor, that is where the market is going to be.
It's just I love looking at the metrics after I've been for a run. And like my VO2 max level, which is like a cardio fitness indicator and all that good stuff. I fucking love that. If the watch, the phone, the AirPods, whatever, can give me more of those kinds of data points, num, I'll eat that all up. But not everybody will.
I think it's because I ruptured something in my back a while ago. About 4 weeks ago. And I decided, it made me then at that point go, right, I need to start getting, once this is gone, I need to start getting back into just getting a little bit of general, weight-wise, I'm not too bad, could do with using a couple of pounds, but I'm kind of working on that. But I could just do with upping my levels of fitness, because since lockdown, they've just dropped. I was quite a fit guy, and then just lockdown, because I wasn't doing the general day-to-day bits that I was doing, and I was just topping those up rather than adding to them that I would normally do. My fitness levels have decreased, and I do think that also having COVID, I felt that they've decreased since that as well. So I decided to start doing something about that. So I did like a first Apple Fitness workout thing, and thought I'll just do one of these and just see what it's like. And it literally was, I started it and it just pinged straight to my watch and went, right, do you want to start it on your watch? And I was like, all right, fine. Started on my watch, and then, I mean, there'll be people that listen to this that have done them, will be going, yeah. and it's then your watch basically, like the fitness bit on your watch is basically in the corner of the screen as you're doing the fitness bit. And I was
that's
going,
great. Yeah.
This is fucking great.
Yeah, it's rad, isn't it?
That's my heart rate there. It's how many calories I'm burning, and then it started telling me, right, you're in the right heart rate zone right now. And then it was basically saying, right, it's flashing saying it needs to slow down a little bit more, and then it needs to build. And I'm going, this is fucking great, and this is literally just from the thing I have on my wrist.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Wonderful.
So it's now made me go, yeah, need to get a fucking exercise bike.
Yeah. You need to get a job that appreciates work-life balance a little bit more so you can work out as well. But anyway.
I do, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right, I'm hosting, aren't I? Yeah. Has anything happened in the movie news this week?
Sure. Poor Things won the Golden Lion at Venice.
Yeah.
Great. Looking forward to it. Fucking January. Do you know what? I don't know. I mean, like,
have you seen the rumours that Scorsese apparently is going to start work on his next film in February?
Well, I mean, if he fucking can.
Oh, yeah, obviously if he can. But yeah, that's the plan is to start the full casting process in February, and to start shooting in the middle of next year.
What is it?
It's written by the same, because the guy who wrote Killers of the Flower Moon, because Killers of the Flower Moon is a factual account of the Osage murders. The same guy has written now a fiction book about a mutiny on a boat, on a ship in the 1700s. I can't remember what it's about. I remember reading it, but not the book, but a synopsis of the book. And Scorsese and DiCaprio apparently really like the book, and so have optioned it, and that's the next one they want to start making next year.
Fair enough. Wow.
Yeah, and it's just, and I saw a quote where someone was had spoken. So I said this was before strike things, not related directly to this, but somebody sort of asked him and said, are you going to take a little bit of time between, this and your next film? And he's like, no. He's like, no, I want this film to come out, and then we move on, and then I move on to the next one. So I will be shooting something next year. And like, oh, so you don't want to take time? I'm like, I just don't have that much time. And it's just like, yeah, fucking just fair enough. Go, keep going. That can segue quite nicely on. Have you seen the new Killers of the Flower Moon trailer?
I have. Yeah. Well, it's good.
It's good, isn't it?
So it's De Niro deploying a tactical Leo to fuck a Native American woman, ingratiate himself in there so that they start basically making families within that community so that the money starts flowing to white people.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking hell.
Yep.
But and then they start killing the locals.
Yeah, because that plan isn't moving quick enough. It's another one. And I read a thing was saying, I can't remember who wrote it, but basically this is another. Scorsese seems to do these movies that basically attack American greed, and this is another one of those.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it looks cracking. Tickets are on sale now.
Yeah.
We're a month out, but tickets are on sale now, and it looks that this was the trailer that's like, right, okay, sell it to a wide audience.
Yeah,
and I feel like it will do that job. I feel like this is gonna do pretty well. Apple are gonna and Paramount are gonna make some good money on this, and then Apple and Sony are gonna make some good money on Napoleon, because releasing films in the cinema helps people make money.
Yeah, who'd have thunk? What other trailers did you get to it?
Okay, so one I literally watched like an hour ago. It was new Blumhouse one.
Oh,
Girl,
is it Totally Killer?
Yeah, girl goes back to the 80s.
What did you think to this trailer?
I mean, I'll watch it.
I'll watch it.
If it was like a 90-minute long film on Prime or something like that, sure, why not?
I was very much like, I want to watch this, but I don't want to watch this trailer anymore.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I get that. I don't know. Like, it's one where probably wouldn't bother going to see it in the cinema if I'm honest, but watching it at home. I mean, it was to come out 6th of October, so week after that we're in Portugal. That feels like one I'll happily watch on the iPad by a pool.
Yeah, that's it. It's got Friday night or Saturday date night movie written all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give that a go. What else have we got rocking and rolling? Aquaman teaser.
Yeah, I didn't watch this because the trailer's coming out, innit? So it's like, all right, well, I'll just wait for the trailer.
Yeah. When there was all those reports coming out saying that this film was basically unwatchable, and so that's why they're having to do so many reshoots.
Mm.
Yeah, from the teaser, I was looking at it going, they might have a point,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks.
The thing is, nobody's really expecting anything out of that now. Like, if it's good or if it does well, that will just be a pleasant surprise. Otherwise, it will just be like, well, yeah, we're expecting this anyway.
Yeah, that's it. It's bonkers. I don't get it. If they didn't release it, nobody would ask the question, hey, when's Aquaman 2 coming out?
Yeah, I mean, that one feels very much like if the strike's still not resolved, God forbid, they'll just release it anyway because it's content and they're maybe not that bothered about it.
Yeah, that's it. And it's like, no one wants to fucking promote this movie anyway, so
Yeah.
so they just won't. We'll just keep showing fucking footage of Momoa at that Metallica concert.
Good.
It was good. He looked like he was really enjoying that mosh pit. Any others?
Maybe not. You know.
What I will say is I saw the trailer for before The Nun, which my screening was actually right. So as well, little grumble. We'll get onto The Nun later on, but my little grumble. I think we might have mentioned it last week, but Cineworld has started doing this really annoying thing of only showing movies in the upgradable formats that you have to pay for.
Yeah. I remember
So
saying that, yeah.
our choices for watching The Nun were either Super Screen or 4DX. And so we had to do it on 4DX, but it was a busy audience, and in that audience we did get the trailer that you just mentioned there, the Saw X trailer, and the audience reaction was they were fucking into it, like really, really into it, which made me go. And it was quite busy. You know, the 4DX screen was about half full, the Nun too, and it made me go, I kind of want to see Saw X now with this audience, like these people.
And speaking of Saw X, I've just sent you a link in the chat. They appear to have done a parody of that Nicole Kidman Odeon. We come to this place to. I just need to watch this.
Right, we'll both watch it. We'll both mute, and then we'll watch it and then come back.
Somehow, self-amputation feels good in a place like this. Drugs. They make movies better.
That's great.
Traps, they make movies better.
I like somehow self-amputation feels good in a place like this, or whatever the fuck he just said. Good on him.
It's the bit where he's going up the stairs and he just
goes, oh.
Oh, well played, whoever was sat there and went, guys, I've got an idea, but can you just give me, like, can I have the doll and, like, half a day?
That's fucking, I mean, like, going up, that's fucking great.
I always love the story of that doll, of James Wan and Lee Wanell basically having to pay for an extra ticket on the plane for when they were going to pitch Saw for the doll. And then realising afterwards that because they'd obviously booked a little bit in advance, that their tickets were actually less than the dolls.
Oh, funny. Fucking hell, good on him. That. I mean, like, you know, you can't have your like actors like promote shit at the moment, so just do some random bollocks like that.
Yeah, well played for that. That's
wonderful.
Yeah, good on him. Guys, just go watch it. Saw X. When you come to this place, it's really quite well played. Yeah.
Enjoyed that a great deal. Yeah.
Is that it for trailers?
Did we? I don't think we did actually, because it came out 6 days ago apparently. Thanksgiving.
We did not know.
Yeah. So Eli Roth has done the Thanksgiving trailer from Grindhouse as a full film.
I haven't seen this. He's done like the full film. He's actually made it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah. You know, interesting, because they were supposed to be doing they were doing reshoots on Borderlands, and he couldn't do that. So the guy who directed Deadpool did them, Tim Miller, and he did Thanksgiving instead. And yeah, I don't know. Looks like a slasher film. Sure.
Yeah, that's it. Fuck it. I'm willing to watch, that kind of vibe from Eli Roth again.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
fuck it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, there's stuff. There is still stuff like coming out. It just are we still going to be saying that in 6 months' time? I really hope so.
When Thanksgiving's been delayed and it's coming out at the cinema in March.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing out that week.
Yeah, exactly. Oh dear.
Yeah, well, let's wait and see. Right, we're getting our first review. So, The Last Voyage of the Demeter is directed by Andre Ovidal. What was it he did again?
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, Troll Hunter. Yeah, he's been about.
Yeah. And stars some people. Corey Hawkins, Aislinn Francais, Liam Cullingham is in there. Woody Norman is in there. Great fucking name.
Yeah.
I believe was actually the kid in Cobweb. Yeah. So I watched 2 of his movies in a week.
Nice.
Yeah. I watched half of the kid's filmography in a week. What did IMDb say about it? A crew sailing from Varna, Bulgaria by the Black Sea to England find that they are carrying a very dangerous cargo. Well, it's the story of the chapter A Captain's Log from Bram Stoker's Dracula. Voyage to Demeter. Ian, what did you think?
So this film sunk without a trace at the US box office last month. It's been taken off the release calendar here. This will 100% just turn up on iTunes randomly in a few months' time.
Yeah.
I don't quite get how it was greenlit. It's not awful. It looks really good. I think it's got really good production value, good score. Performance is not bad.
This has been in development in terms of script and bits and story and around for about 20 years.
Yeah. And between the performance of this and Renfield, I am a little bit stop making trying to make Dracula happen.
Yep.
I thought it was pretty dull. Really, really depressing. It's not a fun night at the movies. But which is not a surprise given that the rest of Dracula happens after this. I thought it was kind of interesting that, so spoiler alert for the end of the film, Corey Hawkins' character, they're almost setting up a sequel where he's going to be trying to stop Dracula in London.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of interesting that they're rewriting Bram Stoker's Dracula in a way here, where there's a scene during the film where Corey Hawkins is talking about how, he trained as a doctor, and whenever he got an opportunity, they realized he was black and wouldn't give it to him. And it's almost like there's kind of a meta commentary about this is the story that of the real story of The Last Voyage of the Demeter, where usually the black guy got written out, but this time we're telling the true story, which I don't know. I think there's kind of an interesting commentary thing in there, accidentally or otherwise. But I was just grasping onto that because apart from that, you've got a couple of impressively gnarly scenes. Thinking particularly of not only does Woody Norman's character die, but then he becomes the undead and then immediately just burns the fuck to death.
Yeah.
That's something. But yeah, like it's nearly 2 hours long. It's pretty glacially paced.
Yeah.
And like there's a large chance a lot of the audience going in know the fucking, and especially going in to actually actively watch this film, will know what this was about. And if you didn't, the fact that at the start it starts with the ship fucking crashed, it's a spoiler alert for an hour and 40 minutes time.
Yeah. I think my issue with the movie is that you could make a really fun, gnarly genre pick out of this, and have it be that it's just quite that it's it's got some good fucking violence in it, but the issue it's so boring at points though. Like like you said, it's glacially paced, but something will happen, and then something will happen on the ship, and it's strange. They don't know what happens, so they'll all get together and they'll talk about it. And one guy will be sat in the corner like peeling an apple and then eating it. He'll be fully knife appling it, and they'll be talking about it and going, "Oh, bad luck having a woman on ship," and then. They'll do their normal bits. Then at come night again, something will happen, and then they'll all sit round and someone will have an apple and they'll be carving it with a knife, and they'll go, "Oh, bad luck to a woman on ship," and you're going, "Wait, this happened like 20 minutes ago. What's going on?" And then that happens again, and it feels a little bit like you've got guys talking, then somebody gets murdered, then guys talk about that person getting murdered. Then somebody gets murdered, then guys talk about the person getting murdered, and you're there going, Jesus fucking Christ, Dracula's on the ship. Why is this not more interesting?
And and the Dracula himself is dull.
Yep.
It's just Nosferatu design.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Yep. Not even anything interesting in it. Even I was like at the end when he's there in the bar, I was going, wouldn't it be cool if like they got somebody? It isn't gonna be like a big stuff.
And it's like they're gonna do that as well.
Yeah. They've got somebody to fucking do it that you go, oh fuck, it's blah. And then you look at it and go, oh, it's just Dracula.
And and frankly, if anyone saw that fucking guy in Victorian London, immediately they'd be like, burn him, that's not right.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on with this guy? You don't even like wink at him or anything like that. He just kind of looks and makes a noise.
He tap brushes him or something, doesn't he? He like taps him or something.
On the scar along his neck, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like it's a very, very odd misfire, this one.
Yeah.
Really, really odd.
It's like you say, in terms of like it's a decent enough looking movie, apart from the fact that everything is just blue and dark. But
they capture the claustrophobia well, and like the scenes at night where like the ship's kind of like bobbing about all over the place. It's well done. Like Andre Overdahl is a good director.
Yeah, it's well visually directed, and there's an interesting story somewhere there, but it's just tighten it up, give it a little bit more violence, have the crescendo actually do something rather than it just be nothingness. Like you're looking going, I mean, it's not like miraculous that he survived that.
No, not at all. No,
the ship doesn't
right.
sink; it still crashes, and it's like, so hang on a minute. It's got special powers, but you think that what a mast that might have hit it because you did jump off before that. That's it.
And bless her, that girl. She had a fucking rough go of it, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Helps him out, and it's like, yeah, I've known for days I'm fucked. And then just... and again, just, it's just really depressing. She just floats out to sea and then just starts fucking burning up. It's like, oh, all right then, great.
I was watching it going, wait a minute. So she's just gonna row out into sea and just essentially wait to die. And then it's like, oh yeah, the sun's come up. Oh, that's gonna be a fucking delight, isn't it?
I just go back again to Woody Norman, like, you know, where it's like that kid, you know, he gets attacked, he doesn't die straight away, and then he dies, and then like Liam Cunningham's just like, he's not dead, I just saw him move. It's like, well, fuck. All right, what's going to happen now then? And to be fair, I didn't necessarily expect he's going to open up his eyes, go to attack his dad, immediately just fucking burn.
Yep.
And you know, it's got that nasty thing to it, but it hasn't got the oh fuck yeah, like kind of like entertaining nastiness.
No.
It's just fucking. It's just a really depressing film.
Yeah, it's just bleak.
Yeah,
but like you say, it basically starts by going, oh, no one survived this.
If you read this, I'm fucking dead.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, looking forward to seeing your story, bud.
Yeah, it's like, well, somebody did survive it. You liars.
Well, yeah, man. Like, hour and 50 minutes odd of just, I really could be doing something more productive with my time here. Like, it's not entertaining bad.
Nope.
It's not, you can appreciate it good.
Yep.
It's very, very touching cloth. And I'm only saying that because there is the odd surprising moment, and it's got some production value behind it.
Yeah, I'm into shit with it, unfortunately.
I'm very hovering between a 2 and a 2.5 out of 5, and you could talk me down to a 2. You could.
I gave it a 2, and it's not a I hate it, it's an absolute piece of shit 2.
No.
But I'm very much like, I don't think it's a very good film. And I'm kind of a little bit upset about that, because the thing is, for me, saying anything at sea is horror enough as it is. So then adding like fucking, but yeah, like you said, Dracula, it is a little bit like, it's been done literally to death. So either do something interesting with it, or don't bother.
There needs to be sexy Dracula again, is what needs to happen. They just need to go full fucking tilt sexy Dracula.
Yeah, and not Dominic Purcell's sexy Dracula from Blade 3.
No, absolutely.
Who seems more like a confused Dracula.
Yeah, you need Dracula who fucks. That's what needs to happen at this point.
Yeah. Our audience poll, definite shit 13%, touching cloth 25%, and shit 63%.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, can't really disagree with too much of that. Right, Ian, what else have you been up to this week?
So we watched the first 45 minutes of the live action Little Mermaid.
All right.
I'm unsure whether we'll go back to it.
Oh. That impressed.
Which is why I'm going to talk about it now, and then I'll just maybe briefly touch on it if we end up doing it. Like, so basically, Melissa McCarthy kind of MVP so far.
That does not surprise me.
She's really, really committed. The voice is great. She's playing a character, and that's wonderful.
Does her husband play like her hair or something?
Do you know what? At one point, I actually thought her husband was going to turn up in a shot. In all seriousness, but no, at least not so far. The guy who plays the love interest in real life, I think, is only 5 years older than Halle Bailey. Looks like he's like 10, 15 years older. He's got ever so slight double chin of a guy who should not be playing the Little Mermaid's love interest. he just looks a bit old. And if I was Javier Bardem, who played the king in this, I would also probably be, I'm not too happy about that. And yeah, I mean, Flounder, it looks photoreal, and it's just fucking weird because it's just like a little fish flopping about.
This is the bit that gets me with this. This is why these things don't work. The reason why the Disney classics work is because they are cartoonish. They are cartoon images of what, cartoon fish would look like. If you have a photoreal fucking crab or fish singing, that's just weird.
Yeah, and quite. I don't know. I mean, they've done part of that world. They've done Under the Sea, and they're fine. I mean, Halle Bailey's got a really good voice, but that's almost like the minimum requirement for the role. And maybe we'll watch the rest of it. We got like another fucking hour and a half to go. And the original's like 80 minutes long. This is like 2 hours 20.
Which it almost feels a little bit like they're having to have these run times to justify the fact that it costs $260 million.
Yeah, and I mean, and it didn't do that well either.
About 600, so it probably just about broke even.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's not going to be an embarrassment, but the live action remake of The Little Mermaid should probably do better. And frankly, I think it's just because there would be no word of mouth about this, at least from what I've seen. But hey, I haven't seen the whole thing, so fair play. But man, Lottie was up for it. She's prime age for this kind of thing, and she just turned to us and was like, I've only got 20 minutes till bedtime, and I'd rather do something else. And it was like, yeah, do you know what, kid? Fair enough. Turn it off.
Yeah.
So there we are. We started watching it on Sunday. It's now Wednesday, and we still haven't got back to it. So I'm not holding out too much hope. I don't say hope. I don't particularly want to watch the rest of it. Okay, so there's that. No F1 this weekend, so I won't talk about that too much. What I will say, it's the Singapore Grand Prix this weekend. They're racing at 9 o'clock at night. It's going to be about 30 degrees centigrade. Apparently, the drivers are expected to lose half a stone in body weight over the course of the roughly hour and a half long race.
Yep.
Fucking bananas.
Bonkers, isn't it?
Bananas. I mean, I get they're paid an awful lot of money, but I feel like I'd be filing a workplace grievance. So, there's that. But yes, Singapore, looking forward to it. The qualifying is at the same time as Cardiff Swansea, which I'll be watching in the Airbnb with Noel and Adam. So I'm taking the Skystream box with me. So so we can watch it. It's funny. None of us are going to Cardiff, so actually go into the game in person, because it's 7:45 kickoff on a Saturday, and it's the South Wales derby.
Ooh, that's gonna be tasty.
Yeah, our seats are not a million miles away from the away supporters, and they're gonna be, man. Yeah, I cannot fucking believe South Wales Police let that match go.
Yeah, that's a bit bonkers. Yeah, on a Saturday as well.
On a Saturday, I could
see it on a working Tuesday or Wednesday, but a Saturday.
No, if you get that's a 12:30 in the afternoon,
yeah.
And I'm not complaining, because if it was 12:30, I wouldn't be able to watch it. But yeah, it's actually during the Singapore qualifying as well, which is quite annoying. But it is what it is. And for next week's show, I'm not going to be recording with you guys next week, because it's Cardiff Coventry on Tuesday night. But might do some recording with Noel and Adam. I don't know. We'll see what we get up to. But then
you'll still be getting a show, guys. Is what we'll say.
Yeah. Yeah. So beyond that, so I watched the first two of the recent Star Trek films for the first time in a good long while, actually. So the '09 J.J. Abrams film, which still slaps, to be fair. Really, really propulsive. Just goes and goes and goes and barely lets up. Really good story, about like Kirk living up to like the legacy of his father. I think that's well done. The Spock half human, half Vulcan thing, and how Kirk has to kind of like deal with that. There's a whole thread about Kirk taking control of the ship by trying, like spoiler alert for Star Trek, by trying to prove that Spock has been emotionally compromised by the mission, and just like the character dynamics there are really, really well drawn out. Eric Banner's a really fun villain. It's a very, very, very entertaining couple of hours. A lot of lens flare.
There's lots of lens flare.
Yeah. So, one of the greatest openings of a blockbuster film in recent memory as well. Hell of a way to start a movie. Chris Hemsworth before Thor playing Kirk's dad.
Yeah.
Really, really well drawn opening section. And all the characters get their moments as well. Like Sulu gets a good sword fight. Chekhov gets a nice bit of comedy. The Uhura Spock relationship in this is really interesting. I think it's just a really, really good time at the movies. Is Star Trek, as is for the most part Star Trek Into Darkness.
We went to watch this on the day of Mike's wedding, I believe.
Day before Mike's wedding.
It was the day before, was it? Yeah.
So, and I think that might be the only time I've actually seen it previous, maybe once after, I don't know. Now, this film is not the fun, rollicking along experience that the first one is. It's called Into Darkness after all. But for the most part, I think it still retains that energy that the first one did. They kind of expand the scope. It is Kirk having to prove that he's worthy of the seat again, which is a bit bullshitty. But they do introduce the good angle of he's driven by revenge. People around him are telling him this mission isn't right. And him just going, yeah, but we just want to kill this guy. And the way that then plays into the hands of Peter Weller's character, spoiler alert, is what like one of the antagonists of the film is very well played out. The problem with this film is the fan servicey nature around Khan, where Benedict Cumberbatch is perfectly decent in this. He's fine. The fact that he's playing a character who was previously played by Ricardo Montalban is a choice. The fact he's called Khan is definitely a choice when he's Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, he's Benedict Cumberbatch, for fuck's sake.
There never has been a more perfect name for that face.
No, exactly. And the last half hour is just this, what the fuck are you doing? Where they reverse the Spock sacrificing himself in the Wrath of Khan, and they do the like both hands up on the glass, and Spock shouts Khan.
So bold.
And
because in Wrath of Khan, that is so fucking good.
Yeah. And then it's Spock chasing Khan around a street, and then they're having a punch up, and it's just, and I mean, they have to make sure that he's alive for a proposed sequel. So like, no, you got to keep him alive. He gets bonked on the head, and the next time you see Khan, he's cryogenically frozen. Job done. We got his super blood. Kirk's back. And it is just where the first one kind of feels like it's respectful and it's trying to push things. The second one's like, right, we've got 3 months to write this. Go, 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 go. It feels like it needed more time to cook, and it needed to not just go for the fanboy thing. Because Star Trek, Nero, new villain, motivation, all new. Into Darkness, the idea that there's somebody in the Federation who wakes up Khan because he needs an old school military mind to take the fight to the Klingons because he thinks the Federation has gotten weak, is an interesting idea. What's not interesting is Khan and Kirk sacrificing himself and Khan having special blood.
Yeah.
So there we are. I've watched the first 20 minutes of Star Trek Beyond. I'll talk about it more next week or next time I'm on. It is very, very obvious that J.J. Abrams does not direct it. Like how just immediately different it is.
Who was it who directed it?
I think it was Justin Lin.
Was it?
Yeah, because he's like a massive, massive Trekkie.
I've seen it a couple of times. I always remember really liking it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about Beyond like next time around, really. But it just it starts. Yeah, it starts.
Co-wrote, didn't he?
That's right. Yeah. And it starts off with like Kirk. Well, not starts off, but pretty soon after, about this voiceover about how he's in deep space. He's a bit bored. Everything's become a little bit episodic. And then it's way more just kind of like an episode of the show or something. I don't know.
It is, yeah. And you can tell that's a Simon Pegg line.
Yeah, quite. We'll talk about it, but I'm enjoying it. But yeah, Into Darkness, like I enjoyed it more than I remembered. It's just that last half hour or so is really, really bad. But it's all right until then.
I think I might rewatch these at some point soon. But I'm thinking they might be quite good. The nights have got a little bit darker, kind of trilogy to do.
Sure, yeah. This is great. Like after the pre-titles, there's just this great bit in Into Darkness where it's Noel Clarke, and it's like this. Like what's going on thing where his daughter's got some sort of disease and Khan's like, I can save her, and then Noel Clarke basically becomes a suicide bomber, and it's just this really quite eye-opening way to get the story going. It's interesting as Into Darkness. It's just the more base fan servicey elements of it really take away from the overall effect of the film in a way that it doesn't in Star Trek, because they're trying to do new stuff with their timeline and stuff. So then the fact that they just revert back with this one, it just feels lazy. It feels rushed. But yeah, there you are. That's me this week.
Cool, right. I'll do the trilogy I watched first. I watched these on my own, not with Becky, and I've only watched one with Becky. But it was there's a bigger thing than just a film I want to talk about with that one. But I rewatched the Hangover trilogy because it was about time, because it's been a while since I've watched it.
It was about damn time.
Yeah. So I rewatched it. And long-term listeners will know that I have a deep affection for these films, and the fact that they are unashamedly what they are. The first one was an absolute, sleeper freaking hit that came out of nowhere that ended up being, at the time, it was the highest grossing R-rated movie in the US ever, which surpassed Beverly Hills Cop, which is bonkers for that. And I think I remember reading something about saying that it was discussed apparently by the Academy for getting a Best Picture at one point, and then didn't quite make it to the cut. But it's the thing is, it's now what 14 years since this came out, and it's probably not aged as badly as I thought it might have. And it's been about 3 or 4 years since I last watched it. And I was worried, thinking, oh, God, what if it has just aged horribly and this is a huge mistake to rewatch this? Because it was kind of, it knew at the time, do you know what? These guys are dicks. So we're not going to hide the fact that they're dicks, but they're not walking around calling people fags or anything like that. Like some films, like I was worried it might. Apart from the fact that at the start of the movie you do have paging Dr. Faggot, which again it's one of those things where I think we watch it going. The problem is I know a guy like that.
It is wild that I mean, okay, it's been like 14 years. That's not a small amount of time. No. But it still feels like recent history enough that it's like things like that were still commonplace in mainstream films.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's one of the few where I actually saw Tom Phillips talking on a podcast about a couple of years ago it was. And they asked him, said, you've done quite a few things in your movies. It was in relation to the, things getting cancelled. Is there anything you're worried about in the future? And he was very much like, no, I'm not, because I've never claimed that the people in the movies were good dudes or that you should act like these dudes. It's always, these are idiots, or do not do what these people are doing. Look at the carnage it's causing. And he said, however, I do regret, and that was the one line he said that he regretted. He was like, I do regret that. He said, because there were funnier jokes that weren't that word. He said, it's only like now, years later, that I look at it, and when people have explained and gone, look, this is why this word particularly is a little bit, not too far, but a little bit unnecessary. And he's like, somebody explained it to me at a party, and I went, yeah, you're right. You're right, I'm wrong. Hold my hands up. Yeah. But yeah, it's still fun. It's still stupid. It's still ridiculous, and I still kind of enjoy it. And then I watched The Hangover Part 2, which again I still love. I still really enjoy. I still love the fact that none of them wanted to make a sequel. Todd Phillips didn't want to make a sequel. So just asked for like a stupid amount of money, and then they said yes. And so it was like, shit, we've kind of got to make it. But all of the cast were very much like, this is like, we don't have to be jobbing actors anymore. And the guys kind of were at the time. You can take Cooper out of that a little bit because of the fact that of his upbringing and bits like that. But they were, Zach Galifianakis was a jobbing actor. Ed Helms was a jobbing comedian. So it was kind of like they all went, well, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. And then it's like, but I just want to make the same movie, but instead of it being somewhere nice, like Las Vegas, that's all plush, that's dripping in wealth, I want to make it in Bangkok where it just looks fucking just grim and horrible and just unpleasant and hot. And just like shitty, so that if anybody who looked at the first one and went and was saying, "Oh man, that looked like a fucking great time," and we were there going, "No, it didn't look like a great time," would then look at this? If they looked at this and went, "That looks like a great time," you'd be like, "Seriously, it doesn't look like a great time," and it's not as good as the first, but it's still funny to me. And I admit that I might be I'd say this, I might be in a minority. The film fucking made $600 million.
Mm.
And then I like that 3 is just an action film masquerading as a comedy.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's just chaos and carnage. And you get John Goodman saying, you don't reason with chaos. The best thing you can do is lock it in your trunk and then shoot it. And it's just, John Goodman is the beauty of John Goodman is he's not actually doing anything funny in this. He's not being comedian John Goodman. He's being like crime boss John Goodman of being sinister. But he's John Goodman, so he's pulling it off so well, and you watch it going, why is nobody ever like why isn't John Goodman like adored more than he is? Because he is adored, but this guy should be Hollywood fucking royalty. And he's not. And that's such a shame because he's John fucking Goodman. And he's wonderful. But yeah, I think I don't think there's a person out there that loves The Hangover Part 3 as much as me.
No, I think you're right.
And I genuinely do adore this movie. It looks fucking brilliant in terms of the visuals of it. The movie looks brilliant. And for anybody who, a lot of people were saying when Joker came out and were saying, you know, who'd have thought Todd Phillips could make a movie that looks this good and that is this impressive? It's the guy who did the Hangover movies. And they're going, me. I thought that because I saw what was more in the Hangover movies than most people.
You're such a fangirl.
I am a fangirl for these, but I don't care.
Hey everyone.
Becky's here.
You're right, Bex.
And then, and that's, you've segmented this quite nicely. And then, so we went to, what did we go and watch, Becky, at the cinema?
Da, 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 da.
Are you taking that, going back to a joke that I constantly make?
Yeah. We didn't go see Star Wars.
We didn't go to see Star Wars. We went to see...
We went to see Jurassic Park at the cinema. So just to give context to the joke, I do know that was the Star Wars theme. Every time I'm watching anything Star Wars related, Mark hums the Jurassic Park theme. So I was just referencing that. But I do appreciate if you don't live in our house, you might not get that joke.
Yeah.
That's like whenever anybody mentions Schindler's List to me, and I just say like, oh, I really like the theme tune to Schindler's List, and they're like, what? And I'm like, you know, da 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 da. So
the Predator theme tune.
Yeah.
Well, I also to the Jurassic Park theme came up with lyrics, didn't I?
Yeah.
Which are just all about Star Wars.
Fucking Star Wars. That one.
Yeah.
There's
for no reason.
I heard one guy do the Jurassic Park theme tune where it was like, holy fucking shit, there are dinosaurs, holy shit, what the fuck?
It is pretty good, that. So yeah, we went to see Jurassic Park, didn't we? The 30th anniversary.
So this is the film that I always cite as the moment I fell in love with cinema. Not movies, but cinema.
Yeah.
And it fucking lived up to it. It really did. It was amazing to see it on a big screen. Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you know what? The film really fucking holds up as well. Like, you watch the Jurassic World movies and you're like, oh, these are a bit, they're fine. Dinosaurs, yay. But then you watch this and it's like, fuck, how did we get from that to that?
How did we advance this much?
And regress
so that badly.
Yeah.
And it comes back to something that you often say, Ian, and that we often say on the podcast. Is it
Laura Dern's legs?
Well, it's not about Laura Dern's legs,
okay.
But yeah, I'm guessing yes. But it's nice that it doesn't look like it was shot in a car park in Georgia.
No, It feels really like tactile.
Yeah, it is, and that is the difference between you know, these elaborate things that look unrealistic. This looks realistic. You know, it looks. You know, you could.
It does, but on the flip side of that as well, the people feel like people,
Yeah.
not movie characters. Like there's no sheen on it. Like the awe and wonder on Laura Dern and Sam Neill's isn't it? Faces when they see the dinosaurs for the first time. Like you're right there with them. Like I was tearing up in the cinema in that scene because it's so emotional, and it's because they're emotional about it. Like it's worlds apart from the kind of shit we get now.
Yeah, I always. It's been quite a while since I've rewatched Jurassic Park. And I'd completely forgotten that literally shit doesn't go sideways until like over halfway through the movie, really.
No, a lot of it is the
setup.
characters just walking around going, like Owen Wilson wowing at everything.
Yeah.
Like it's very exciting for them.
And you know, Samuel Jackson is one of like he's a bigger character in it than I
always
remember.
forget that he's in this at all.
And he's great in it,
Yeah.
smoking on screen as well in a family movie.
Wild.
What a great experience! I remember seeing this back in like 1993 at the View with the Warner Brothers cinema as it was at the time.
It was so much better when it was Warner.
And the thing is, it takes you back to when Barbie and Oppenheimer came out, there was an awful lot of chatter around the fact that it was that most cinemas there was just a lot of screenings of Barbie and Oppenheimer, and that took up so many screens. But I remember Jurassic Park in a 12-screen cinema was on 11 screens, and there was still people literally queuing out of the building.
Yeah.
Because that was when your ticket got checked by somebody.
Yeah.
To get in. And I remember the queues going like round the cinema and then out of the building. And like I remember queuing from outside to then get in and then snake around the cinema to then get into Jurassic Park. Because it was that big an event.
It's such a spectacle though. Like even as a 40-year-old jaded, has seen loads of movies now person, it's like it takes you back to that. And I think maybe if you watch it now having not seen it when it came out and at that age,
I still think you'd be.
I don't think you'd have the same nostalgia for it.
You won't have the same nostalgia, but I think.
But it's still like it's so big and wow.
It is.
It was a great experience. Really loved it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic fucking. It's god tier family entertainment film.
I will say, like, since seeing Dune on IMAX, this is the best cinema experience I've had.
Yes, I was expecting it to be screened on film as well.
Yeah, it was good, that wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I had a feeling because
they do that at the Parkway.
Parkway have
Good on them.
what is it?
Both.
At both, and like they when they do some of the retro screens, they will ask for, can we get a print rather than showing the digital copy? Can we get a print? And when it came up and it was on film, I was like, I grabbed Becky's leg and like. It
was like trying to like meerkat into the window to see which projector was nearest the window beforehand.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a beautiful experience. Like I think I might just give up on modern cinema and just only go and see legacy screenings from now on.
There's some value to that, Bex. Fair play. Yeah.
But the thing there is what I will say, and I think I say it every time we go and watch a retro screening. These retro screenings happen more often than you'd think, and it was quite busy as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, which was
nice. But the thing is, cinema used to exist literally on retro screenings. Things would screen, 10 years after the release, 20 years after they were released. The idea of things only having one run at the cinema only became a thing literally like realistic like the early 90s. And people should go and see these things more. And Yeah, I like if you have the opportunity and you're thinking, I could watch it at home. No, if it's one of a movie that you truly like, even if you've seen it dozens of times, just go to them, because it's an experience rewatching these movies. It's a completely different experience than rewatching it at home, because you have that experience of you can't go. I'm just gonna pause this for like 5 minutes. What?
Oh my god, they're showing Christine.
When's that then? October 19th.
We'll be
I
back.
don't.
We could
I
go
don't.
for that.
I don't think that will be filmed because that's a nationwide re-release.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
won't
I've
be.
never seen
No,
it.
that's at Cineworld, so it definitely won't be.
Oh, okay.
I've not seen that at the cinema, so we are definitely going for
Well,
that.
that, interestingly enough, didn't get a cinematic release in the UK when it came out.
Well, we are
Really?
offering
Oh.
that.
Yeah, it was a TV movie in the UK.
This is Christine the car movie, just for clarification, not Christine the newscaster that killed herself starring Rebecca Hall movie.
No, it's not. What else have you been watching, Rebecca?
Right, I'm gonna be honest here. A new Stephen King book came out last week. I have watched nothing on my own.
I thought you were finished. So you've not even finished watching
No.
the bunch of films that you were
No.
watching?
No, I haven't.
Right. Cool. Can we take a quick pee break then?
Sure.
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Stephen King wins.
No, I do. No worries.
What percentage are you through the book?
Oh, should we have a look?
Yeah.
I am, according to my Goodreads app.
I love that these things exist.
My books. 70% of the way through. My book that I only have had 3-4 reading sessions with.
Yeah.
So and Bex, when are you getting the PlayStation 5 for Alan Wake 2?
I'm gonna have to see if I can get through Control first, aren't I? Evidently, so.
We've got control, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
I think you need to take a controlling interest.
It's very confusing though. There's a lot of confusing shit that goes on. It's very open world.
It's not open world. It's
Well, no,
just
but
it's
it's like-
not linear.
Yeah, we'll see. It's not linear.
I think you need to just deep dive. Last time you did deep dive, you
Just-
dipped in, didn't you?
Yeah.
Just mainline through the main story. You know, if you just keep to the main objective and ignore the side quests and stuff, you'll still be like leveled up enough through the game to beat it, because otherwise the side quest would be part of the main quest.
I know, but I can't play like that.
Then just suck it up, buttercup.
All right, hang on. Let me just go on how long to beat Control. Let's have a look now. Control. Right, if you're a completionist, 28 and a half hours, but that's like if you're going to like platinum it. Main and sides, 19 hours.
You can smash out 19 hours on a game over a weekend, Rebecca.
And then the expansion, because have you got the Ultimate Edition?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
I know, you got me.
Did I?
I think so. Yeah, you got me.
Did I?
Yeah.
Don't remember that.
Pretty sure you did.
Pretty sure.
When you
I
got
didn't.
when you got Mark God of War.
I bought you Control.
Pretty sure you did.
No, I thought it was.
Oh, was it maybe a thingy thing?
Yeah, it was a PlayStation Plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bought you something else that you didn't play. So the expansion then that you need to play is called AWE, which could stand for Alan Wake Event
Or Alan Wake expansion.
or Altered World Event, I think it actually is supposed to be. That will take 3 hours.
Okay. I will give it another shot.
But it's like literally, I was watching a preview of Alan Wake 2 the other day, and there is a character in Alan Wake 2 who is literally one of the characters in Control.
Why does everything have to have extended fucking universes these days? Oh, you can play this, it looks really good, but you have to play this, and this first. Right, fuck that then.
But
Alan-
it's
But you did really love Alan Wake, didn't you?
but
Rebecca?
that's the thing. It's in this world that you like.
I know.
Here's a thing you like. Fuck you.
So The Boogeyman is written by some people and based on a short story by Stephen King and directed by Rob Savage. And who does it star? Sophie Thatcher and Chris Messina and David Dashmalian is in for the second movie of the feature movies. I just realised that. And what is it about? Let's have a look. I'm going to go to the IMDb because it's always fun.
Hang on, what is he?
He plays Lester Billings in this.
Yeah, who else does he play in what other film this week?
He was in
Demeter.
Demeter, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah, he's voice checking that, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I just imagine that.
He's definitely in Demeter. I don't know what his character name is.
That
That was David Dastmalchian.
last voyage of the Demeter. Yeah. You know the first mate who doesn't really like him.
Oh, why? Okay, yeah, all right, sure. That's really tripped me up. Why did I not recognise him?
He's wearing a hat a lot.
Sorry for yeah, fine, yeah. He's a very recognisable dude as well.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
feel
lose him
like
in a crowd, would you?
No, God no. I feel like a silly. Sorry, moving on.
The
The racist one.
Yes.
Huh. All right. Yep. Cool.
Still reeling from the tragic death of their mother, a teenage girl and her younger sister find themselves plagued by a sadistic presence in their house and struggle to get their grieving father to pay attention before it's too fucking late. He doesn't say fucking late. I just did that for effect.
For effect.
Yeah. Ian, I'm going to go at you on this one first.
Yeah.
What do you think to The Boogeyman?
Yeah, I liked it actually. No, fair play. Maybe lowered expectations a little bit. But I thought it was all right. Don't get me wrong. Don't think it was an absolute barnstormer. I think it was a damn sight better than the dash cam. My word, a damn sight
watching
better.
someone take a shit would be better than watching dash cam.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah. It starts off in a very surprising way.
Yeah.
Rob Savage obviously does not have kids. And yeah, I thought it had some decent scares throughout. It was kind of about trauma, but not necessarily about trauma. It didn't feel like it was like smushing your face in it. It felt like it was primarily there to try and sketch you out, to like scare you. Last Voyage of the Demeter could have done with more of that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the creature design when it popped up as well was decent. The whole, it's just kind of like jumbling words about, and it just kind of like talking bollocks and then kind of like forms sentences in people's voices and stuff. I thought that was a really, really cool touch. I liked it. I quite enjoyed it actually, and I'm keen to see what you guys thought.
Bex, what did you think?
I didn't hate it.
Right.
But I didn't love it. There was bits of it that I did. The creature design was very good. I very much enjoyed that. The bit where it's like the weird little tendrils coming out of its mouth turn out to be fingers, and then it just like pulls its whole head apart. That was great. The sound stuff with the voice when it's talking, and the voice just keeps upping and downy and changing and stuff. That's super creepy. I just feel like it's just a bit. It telegraphs its moves far too far in advance. oh my gosh, I wonder if that lighter will come back into it at some point.
Sure.
Oh
fair.
wow, look. Oh look, she's knocked over some petrol. So the ending felt really fucking lazy. The like choices made by the characters as well, just like I said to you while we were watching it, didn't I? Oh, hang on a second. So this kid, really, really scared of the dark, goes to bed with a glowing orb to keep everything bright, but she sat playing video games in the pitch black. What?
But then really interesting scene with the fact that she's using the video game, the shooting it to light things up.
Yeah.
Really interesting way to
yeah.
use something like that.
So there's great bits, and then there's bits that feel really lazy. So it just feels really fucking all over the place. Like you'll watch it and you go, oh, that was mint. I really enjoyed that bit. Oh. Okay. We're back here again. And it just felt so generic as a story as well. Like I feel like we've seen this in various guises just too fucking much. Mother is lost, family is traumatized, shit happens. Cool.
Yeah. I'm not. Go on.
Just like, wasn't that basically the story for that fucking one with the plaster of Paris hand recently?
Yeah, I mean, it's all of these fucking films have got like an element of somebody has some sort of tragic thing in their past, and then that informs the horror that awaits them. That
just
seems
want something
to
just be fucking horror because it's horror and shit's scary, instead of because people are really sad about things.
Don't disagree with it.
Yeah, I did and didn't expect more. I expected more initially because I'm a Stephen King fan. But then when I heard that basically the Stephen King short story is the opening scene of the movie and then the rest of it is just a Kayla Cooper's imagination, I was like, okay then. And then I didn't expect much because of Dashcam. So I wish it was better, but it wasn't all bad. I just wish it was better. But then I think that could be said about a lot of films at the moment. I feel like a lot is just a bit disappointing.
I think you could say that about 95% of Stephen King adaptations.
Well, that's true. But at least they somewhat stick to there's good ways to adapt Stephen King short stories. Fucking Shawshank is based on a short story.
It's a very different type of short story, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but you don't just go, right, let's get the short story out of the way in the first 5 minutes and then just let our imaginations go wild.
Fair play, yeah.
So, yeah. But Flano's doing another Stephen King adaptation, so I'll just hold out hope for that.
The thing is, I'm kind of in between where you two are, in the sense that there's bits in this that I really like the kid. That scene's really good. I agree with you, Becky, that I was sort of saying the same thing when we were watching it, going, I mean, that kid's scared of the dark. But moving beyond that, the imagination to have it right, that's pretty fucking cool. And the fact that, the kid then gets thrown at the TV.
Yeah, I enjoyed that bit.
I enjoyed that bit as well.
Oh, but she was quite sweet though. Like, that's quite well done by the movie as well, because a lot of kids in horror movies are fucking annoying, and she's not really. She isn't. The one out of Yellow Jackets, she's quite annoying.
Don't know who that was.
The older sister.
Cool. But the thing is, I would say I enjoyed watching it probably a little bit more than I enjoyed the film, if that makes sense. Like, there's some bits in it that I was watching it going, so hang on a minute, there's all these candles, but the Boogeyman thing can just blow them out.
Yeah.
Why have they been there? But then the idea of even that bit there, when she rings up and says, I've got a way to kill it, and you go, well, she's clearly going to use her as fucking bait, which I don't think is like me being like, oh, well, it's what is that? You're definitely supposed to think that. You know, you're supposed to think that, don't go there, she's setting you up, you dumbass. But even that's pretty fucking cool, the way that it's set up. I think the more I think about this movie, the more I kind of enjoy it.
Fair play.
It's going up in my estimations, in the fact that I just think for this type of kind of mid-range, like, horror movie, it's actually pretty fucking good. Yes, it's not Malignant, but we need to stop comparing everything to Malignant. Is what I would say there. But it's still pretty fucking good. The creature design's good. It's spooking us some innovative shots. Rob Savage is doing some bits with the camera. I don't think it always works, but at least he's fucking doing shit. You can also go, yep, this guy really likes Sam Raimi, which is pretty fucking, fair enough. We all like Sam Raimi's films. But yeah, it's I think it's weird that the Stephen King fan on the podcast liked this film the least.
Yeah, but then I think it's probably because I'm a Stephen King fan that I dislike this film the least.
But do you like the short story?
It's very short. It's incredibly short. I just don't feel like it.
But this is the second movie they made out of this short story.
You what?
It's the second movie they've made out of it.
I just feel like they've gone right. Let's get a character in there named Lester Billings so that we can say based on the short story by Stephen King, and I don't like that.
Ah, right. Fair play.
Feels disrespectful to me.
Well, I'm definitely not shit on it. I don't think it's in any way shit. I actually think I kind of enjoyed my time with it enough.
Yeah.
Probably touching cloth because it probably gets elevated. The creature design is good.
Yeah. Sorry, our audience poll. Definitely not shit 14%, touching cloth 29%, and shit 57%. Right, should we move on to another fucking Kayla Cooper movie?
She did this as well?
She fucking did, yeah.
Getting paid.
Yeah. Literally the voice of horror. So it's The Nun 2. Directed by Michael Chavez. And starring, not David Dutchmarling isn't in this one. It's starring Tysa Farmiga, an actress that me and Bex have absolutely polar opposite views of. Storm Reed, which I had no idea was in it because I don't remember the trailer.
I didn't know she was in it, to be fair.
And other
She's
people.
not in the fucking trailer.
Is she not in the trailer?
I'm pretty sure she's not. I mean, maybe she's not a focus of the trailer. That's for damn sure.
So yeah, I'm glad of that because I was a little bit like, wait, what? Nun 2. Let's see what IMDb synopsis gives. In 1956 France, a priest is murdered and evil is spreading. The sequel to the worldwide smash hit follows Sister Irene as she once again comes face to face with Valak, the demon nun. Becky, you like horror more than us. Why did you hate The Nun 2?
What my main hated point about it?
Yeah.
Making her related to Saint Lucy.
You didn't like that, did
No,
you?
it really pissed me off. Like,
I mean, let's
use your nun superpowers and make the wine into fucking blood of Christ. You don't have to be related to a saint. That's the whole point of like the sacrament, is that they do it through belief, not through familial ties.
Well, let's get ready for what I think might happen.
I'll go on. See if what you think might happen.
I will because you said something.
I've said it to you, yeah.
Let's see what you say here.
Go on, Ian.
I think she's Lorraine Warren.
Irene.
Yep.
Actually, you think that she's
I think she is Lorraine Warren. I think they're going to be batshit.
That would be pretty fucking
That
batshit.
would be batshit. Mine was a variation on that theme that Lorraine Warren's one of her descendants.
But the thing is, right, this is set in the 50s,
Yeah.
and then The Conjuring is set in the 70s. I think you could go...
Yeah, and she does look at Maurice at one point like she wants to fuck him. So she might,
I think...
He's not Ed Warren, is he?
No,
But maybe either. I mean, that is batshit. I think it will turn out, because they say something about the descendants spread far across the globe or something. It will be that they are cousins or sisters or something, because like it does make sense with the ages. Also, I did a bit. Did you guys see the mid credits?
yes.
Right. Okay. So the next Conjuring film is apparently called The Conjuring Last Rites. At the start of The Conjuring, Ed and Lorraine Warren are giving a lecture, and they talk about someone called Maurice.
Mm.
Who,
Yeah, well, Maurice is the exorcism that that
So-
she does that she gets traumatized by.
So,
Oh.
yeah. Okay, I'm going to backtrack from she is Irene, because that probably is just too batshit. Teresa Farmiga is going to be in the next Conjuring. And it's gonna, like, they are gonna bring those threads together. And I think the fact that Lorraine Warren has these visions and like these feelings and whatnot, Irene does as well. They're from the same lineage at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you said. See, I didn't have any of that connection at all. I just went, let's give me a new Conjuring movie in my head.
When they cast Teresa Farmiga, it was like, it's fucking weird that her sister is also playing a character in a Conjuring universe film. That's always been a bit what the fuck. I think like they've had this planned.
Oh yeah, there's something going on there. Something. There's doing the transpiring.
Well, that's it. And it's like if they were sisters but they looked wildly different, I think it wouldn't necessarily be such a thing. But they are very similar looking. Obviously,
but
age apart, but like they are.
It would be incredible if it turned out that Irene then like leaves the priesthood and just becomes Lorraine Warren. The more I speak that into existence, the more bollocks it sounds. But they're gonna be related, aren't they? They're going. Yeah. Come on, they're going to be related.
Yeah, and that's why they both have the sight and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did not like that element of it. There's bits that I really, really enjoyed. Like that scene with the magazine rack is really beautifully done. Yes, I agree with you. It does go on a little bit too long, but as the face is kind of gradually rising up through the magazines from the bottom to the top, and it's gradually forming into the nun. It's I love that bit. Loved it.
Did they have fluorescent lighting in the 50s?
Yeah, they will have done.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Incandescent lighting was around from like the 20s, I think.
It's cool that you knew that.
Are you being sarcastic about Mark's coolness?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I know an awful lot of random shit.
I don't find the nun a particularly compelling bad guy.
She doesn't do much.
She just
stands and then all of a sudden goes at people.
Yeah, I didn't find it scary. Look at the fucking sound waves on that. I don't find it particularly scary.
It weird. I don't know why I was so apprehensive about the first Nun back in the day. Like I was really freaked out by the prospect of that film. And I genuinely don't know why, because Becky, you're right. She's shit.
Yeah. The thing is, on a purely aesthetic level, it's creepy as fuck. And like when it's in the Conjuring movies and it's like she's an and also baddie, it works because it's just a creepy thing to look at. But having her as like the main antagonist is just no. You're not no. All you do is burst forward every once in a while.
Yeah, you stand really still, then burst forward.
Yeah.
Again, there's bits of this. It's too long. It's so long. Like, you didn't need the essentially the horny goat man.
Black Phillip.
No, Mark. Sorry, this is going to be my utterances in this review, just interrupting you guys. So apologies, but no, right? The minute they were like, yeah, there's goat up there and the sun and the red and blah blah blah, I was like, right, okay, gonna need a CG goat at some point. And I was just fucking waiting. And as soon as it was like, I hear something up there and the goat had disappeared from that fucking glass, I was like, let's go. I am disappointed that there wasn't more goat.
Can I ask you a question, Ian?
Yeah.
Have you seen the TV show The Mighty Boosh?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I got from that goat. That costuming or effect or whatever the fuck it was horrific.
No,
bad.
You'd half expected to ask if you've ever drunk Bailey's out of a shoe.
Yeah.
The thing is, what I will give it, I like the fact that it was a guy in a costume and it wasn't just a CGI fucking thing. I liked that.
Okay.
I'm so fucking glad that we got that goat. Because this is the thing. The third act, when it just gets a little bit more batshit,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, right? The Conjuring guys need to study the Pope's Exorcist.
Yes, everybody needs to study the Pope's Exorcist. But that's it. When it goes batshit and you've got like fucking priests bursting into flames and shit like that.
I enjoyed that at the start as well.
Yeah.
That poor priest, he was having a bad day.
Yeah, it was not a good day. And the thing is, there's bits like I told you about it when if that wine at that church,
It's that little boy's job to get it every
it's
time.
an everyday product you're
Yeah.
going to use. Don't put a shelf that high up.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm quite I've almost built a little subgenre for myself of enjoying things where it's just like, oh fuck, he's having a bad day. The priest on fire in The Nun 2. The poster for Saw X where that guy's just got the glass tubes in his eyes. He's going, ah! It's like, fucking hell, mate. Like, you've had a bad workplace accident, haven't you? Fair play. Oh.
Your day is not gone as you planned it in the morning.
No, it's like Maurice as well. It's like he just wants to grow some tomatoes, but every now and then some crows come around and he wants to go kill some fuckers. I mean, a Wednesday, it's a Wednesday.
A random little weird thing for me though was, the madam for the school.
Madam. I don't think she's a madam, the head teacher.
She's literally called Madame Lorraine.
Yeah, because Madame is just French for Mrs.
Head teacher with the easiest job in the world, by the way. There's one class. There's about 8 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when she came out, my brain straight away went, hang on a minute, she played fucking female Rimmer in Red Dwarf.
Did she?
She played, yeah, in an episode of Red Dwarf. I think it's maybe
backwards.
1. Yeah, no, not in backwards. You know when they go...
No, not backwards. The last one of season 2 where Lister has the kid.
Yes, it is that where he gets pregnant, where they go to an alternate Red Dwarf, and it's like there's a female Lister for that. She played the female Rimmer.
Fucking hell, that's some Mind Palace shit. That is, Mark. Fair play.
As soon as I saw it, my brain went like that. So the problem is, I couldn't see anything other than female Rimmer every time she was on screen. But yeah, right, and this is the bit that me and you disagree on, isn't it, Becky? Constantly. I'm sorry. Taysom Farmiga is a terrible actress. like literally. She's appalling. I get it that she's an alright screen presence. That's fine. But the minute she starts delivering lines, I am very palpably aware that she's just remembering things she read on a page.
Fair play.
Storm
She's
Reed
good at
was-
reciting facts.
Pardon?
She's good at reciting facts.
Yes.
She reads things on a page and she can go, did you know that the average kumquat is... I don't know. I've broken it down.
She read a pamphlet once.
You should have pamphlet once. Yeah. What's your point?
I mean, Mark met a giraffe once. Teresa Farmiga read a pamphlet once. Perfect.
Storm Reed didn't need to be in this.
No.
Like, at all. Her character adds nothing.
Company.
I don't think she needs
Someone for Tysa Farmiga to have dialogue with.
it. Yeah, but just, like, don't. Have a talk to God.
Yeah.
I did feel sorry for Maurice. He just seems like a good dude.
Yeah, I like Marie.
Yeah. And it's just like you were
At the
saying
end of
there,
the last one.
not a lot good's going to happen to that guy.
No.
And the way that it's really well played by the actor at the end of it, where he just kind of walks off like, fucking hell. Like, he just looks tired.
I bet he really wishes he'd never met her.
Yeah.
He was just like a handyman in the first one.
Yeah.
Just living his life.
Yeah.
He was just fucking his way around Europe, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's ended up just a broken husk.
Broken tomato.
A broken husk raising a kid that ain't even his. That he seems to actually really quite like.
Yeah, fair play to him on that. I think he'll make a good stepdad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's one of the country movies we get in a few years. It's just the adventures of Maurice and the step.
But we know what happens to Maurice.
Yeah, it's not good.
He fucking dies in an exorcism or some shit, the poor fucker.
Yeah, he's got that to come.
Oh, poor little puppet.
Yeah. I think I like The Nun too. It's better than Nun.
Better than Boogeyman.
It's all right.
It's fucking, yeah. It's too long.
It's definitely too long.
It doesn't need to be. When we went to the cinema, because I'm on earlys at the moment, I've got to bed fairly early, and we couldn't fit it in, so we had to go last night, didn't we?
Yeah.
After work, and I was programming it into my head. I was looking forward to seeing it, and I wanted to go to the cinema. So that's not this isn't a woe is me kind of thing. But I was going right. Well, we've got the film. We need to go home. I still to eat and get to bed. So I'll be able to get to bed for this time because it'll be this long. And then as we got to the cinema, I just sort of thought, I'll just have a double check. Because in my brain, it was 95 minutes.
Everything's 95.
And then I checked and was like, it's an hour 50. Why is the Nun 2 an hour 50?
Yeah.
You know, the Pope's Exorcist, what, an hour 50?
This film needs to take many lessons from the Pope's Exorcist.
Yeah.
I think that could be said of most films.
It just could, yeah. Not even like horror films, just all films. I thought, Nolan always, like, whenever he makes a movie, always, like, has, like, a bunch of movies that he wants the principal cast or all the cast and crew to watch.
Yeah.
Because they're the visual influences or story influences of this. I'd like to just, like, be on the email chain and just slip in the Pope's Exorcist, just so loads of people watch it.
Great, the Pope's Exorcist.
It is.
But that's an hour and 43.
But it's an hour and 43 of just fucking pure entertainment, Rebecca.
I'm super psyched to rewatch that.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, The Nun 2. Definitely not shit. Thought it was alright, actually.
Yeah, mild, definitely not shit.
I don't know that I'll revisit it.
I will.
Okay.
I'll rewatch this.
Good for you, bud.
Yeah. But I'm an idiot, so...
That's true. I think that I'll rewatch this from Mark is like, if you want to have like a negative pull quote on a poster, Mark Foster would rewatch this.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, it's going to be shit then.
That's good. That's good. This guy rewatched. That's not a good thing.
He's watched 27 Dresses like 18 times.
I have watched 20 Dresses Twice like twice.
Sure.
Because more movies you're going to pick something to go at me about with that.
Which one is it? Oh, is it Bride Wars?
I've watched Bride Wars 5 times. It's not even good.
I've never seen it. I can't comment.
Well, then fuck you. Don't watch it.
No.
Definitely not shit, 38%. Touching cloth, 13%. Shit, 38%. Geostorm, 11%. Fair play.
I see a
That.
shout for Geostorm, actually.
Yeah.
Maurice.
Poor
Right.
Maurice.
Questions. We have quite a few this week. Quite a few. Rick Kidd. Glad that Ian has discovered Full Swing. As a golfer myself, I loved it. With that in mind, is there a sport/activity that you would want to see a documentary about?
More Formula One. I just want an episode every week of anything Formula One. Sorry. Sumo wrestling. Reality series covering the professional careers of sumo wrestlers.
Guarantee that already exists in another country.
I just want it to be called Sumo Mo.
I have a genuine Formula One question here.
Oh, yeah.
Right. To ask you. The teams, right?
Yeah.
Are they literally just like Mercedes, or are they a team that Mercedes built the cars for?
Oh, mate, you don't want me to get into that now.
I kind of do, because I don't know, and I've never needed to know, but now I feel like I need to know.
Why do you need to know that?
Because Ian talks about it, and I've never needed to know these things because I've never been exposed to it. But now I could do with knowing that information, so that when Ian speaks about it, I know more.
Oh, God. All right. So you've got teams who develop absolutely everything in-house, right? You've got teams who may develop their own shit, but also sell parts to other teams. So, for instance, Mercedes do all their shit themselves. McLaren are technically McLaren Mercedes.
Yeah.
So they will, I think it's the powertrain, if I remember correctly, they will essentially take from Mercedes, but then they'll develop other bits.
So McLaren and Mercedes are two. I'm showing how much little I know. I didn't know there were two different teams.
Yeah. So
Even I fucking knew that. And I'm a girl.
So yeah, Mercedes, who are my boys, are Lewis Hamilton and George Russell at the moment. Their team principal is Papa Toto Wolff. And then you got McLaren, who are McLaren. They design all their shit themselves, apart from the power unit, which is designed by Mercedes. They buy shit in from Mercedes, and they are a completely separate team. So you've also got what are called customer teams, who are teams that just buy shit off the rack, essentially. So Haas, who the team principal is the great Gunther Steiner of "We look like a bunch of rock stars, now we look like a bunch of fucking wankers" fame after their incredibly bad pit stop. They are a team who are sponsored by, basically owned by this American dude, and just buy shit in from other teams. So they don't make any of their shit. They just buy parts and put them together. So there's a mix there. But essentially, they're all, yes, we will pay this much. We will contribute this much to Formula One as a whole. And so they're allowed in.
Right.
So, yeah. I will stop. I was about to go on. I will stop there.
So people do follow teams rather than
100%. Yeah, 100%.
And the people follow. Do you have people who also just alternatively follow drivers and will follow the drivers around?
Weirdly, not so much.
Right. See, that's what I thought would have happened. But yeah.
Yeah, and I get that. I think people will, but like when at events, it's not people necessarily like got driver shirts on. They will have team stuff. So like when I go to Bahrain, I will be fully fucking Mercedes. Like I will have a team t-shirt. I've already got a cap. I've got a water bottle. I'm fully, embarrassingly fully in. But if Lewis Hamilton goes to another team, I will wish him well, but I won't be all Hamilton. Even though, confusingly, there is a lot of driver-specific merch that you can buy. So it's like I almost bought a Daniel Ricciardo McLaren cap, despite the fact that he no longer drives for McLaren. But then that would have just been confusing. But it's like I like Daniel Ricciardo. So Daniel Ricciardo is my favourite driver. He doesn't drive for Mercedes. But Mercedes are my team.
That's fair. That makes sense. In answer to Craig, to Rick's question there, Bex, you got an answer? Beekeeping. David Ayer is actually making a movie called The Beekeeper. It's not a documentary. No, it's not a documentary. Well, I don't think it's a documentary. It's got Jason Statham in it.
I want to get. It could be. Maybe he's a secret beekeeper.
I will guarantee there'll be
Oh my
documentaries.
god, I want to see a documentary about like Henry Cavill and his game and setup and stuff.
That's a pretty sweet activity, yeah. That's fine. I'd watch that.
I'd watch that.
Can I just say,
and his fucking like figurine painting.
Raul Coley's a big old gamer himself, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fucking nerd, that kid.
Yeah, he fucking loves that shit.
Yeah.
Just to say, Rick, DM me about golf. I'm like,
Jesus.
I want to get into golf. You walk about for fucking miles finding your ball. It's good exercise.
My brain doesn't have it. Just never ever had any other capacity for any other sport other than football. Like I don't have. I think it is that I don't have the mental bandwidth for it. Like the fact that I can cope just about with football, and that is it. And even then, I don't even like watching that many documentaries about it because I feel like
you just disagree with
I
them.
get enough. I disagree with them, and it makes me angry that I can't tell them they're wrong.
One of the things I'm most looking forward to about the Formula One next year is they do like a thing there where it's like a practice pit stop, where it's like you and 3 other people see how quickly you could do a pit stop in. And it's like,
hell, really?
Yeah, but it's not like a real, like they drive a car in.
Yeah.
It's on like a stage, and like they literally like time out how long it would take for you to like get a tire off, put another tire on and shit. And it's like, I want to do that so fucking bad. I honestly, I'm gonna be like a fucking 10-year-old kid at that weekend. I'm so excited.
I'm trying to think of an activity.
Just back to what
Lego.
I'm sure there'll be.
There probably will be. But
there's a documentary series, Lego Masters.
Is there?
Yeah.
See, this is it. But like, it's just because I saw something about a guy who built like a one of like the big like docking stations for Star Wars, and they put in like things at the side. They put like a cinema in at the side, and all of these things. It's right there, Becky. You're showing me it right now.
It's on.
The thing is, it's there. I'll never watch it.
There's a US and an Australian.
I'll still never watch it.
Mark, just let yourself watch just throwaway documentary stuff. It's okay.
I might download a few and watch them on my lunch and just see how I get on. Craig Dawson says, not film related, but has Ian ever watched MotoGP? In terms
I'm fucking loving this, guys.
Far better than F1.
Right, MotoGP. I've been thinking about it. Like, the thing is, it's like my next thing with Formula One would be I might watch some Formula 2, Formula 3, because they do it all on Sky Sports F1. And like in Bahrain, they're doing F2 and F3 all that same weekend. It's all the opening weekend for all of them. It's going to be fucking amazing. So it's like just the time for it all. MotoGP looks awesome. It looks so good. And I'm tempted, Craig. I'm tempted. But also, Rally looks ace as well. I've been watching documentaries about Colin McRae on YouTube and all sorts lately.
I was just about to say, it's Rally's like cross country in it. Like if like cross country jumping, but with cars.
Yeah.
That's fun to watch.
That shit fucking rules.
Yeah.
And Colin McRae, he was a crazy cunt. He was. He'd just fling it about all over the place, roll his car, as long as it rolled in, like landed on tyres, he'd just go again. Absolute fucking menace. But MotoGP, yeah, that shit looks really impressive. And the mental bandwidth thing is a question. Like Mark, but just like there's a lot of that stuff vying for my attention, but I absolutely respect the fuck out of it at the very least.
That's it. I can't. I think because football was so consuming for me when I was young that I never learned about any other sports. I played a few of them, but I never learned about anything surrounding them. So I just didn't have any understanding for it other than football. And now I'm just like, I don't have time for that, because what if I end up making a connection with it like I made with football? I don't have time for that. I don't even want that. I don't even think I like football anymore.
The beautiful thing about F1, right? You've got qualify. Yes, you could watch free practice and whatnot if you wanted to, and I do. But you've got qualifying on the Saturday generally, the race on the Sunday. There might be a race the next weekend. There might not be. There's not that much of a time commitment, which is the thing I really like about it. You can be really into it, and then like between most of November and into like the end of February, it's not even on. You know, so you've got that space, but then most of the time there's at least a week's break. In the summer break, there's none of it for 4 weeks. On the odd occasion, you may have a triple header 3 in a row, but then it is quali on the Saturday, race on the Sunday, watch the free practice if you want. It doesn't actually require that much buy-in in terms of time. And that I really like that in F1. It's a real saving grace for me. Because like golf's on all the fucking time. Like all the time, there is something happening.
Yeah, I can never get, but I can just, it does. Golf has never appealed to me.
But golf is one that I could see me playing. It's not like I'm
watching
going to get an F1 car.
I think what I can't get over, and I think I've gotten over it with football, but what I can't get over it with golf is I'm watching them going, that guy's a dickhead though, and I know that guy's a dickhead. Marcus Easy, what classic film have you overseen and don't want to watch anymore? Pulp Fiction for me. That's what he said. That's what he said, not me.
God, that's a great question.
It's a good question, because I say this. The thing is, I say this to you often, don't I, Becky? Like, I have seen that movie enough times, don't need to see it again. But I can't now remember any of those films. But there has been them. Like, normally I would have said Jurassic Park, but then we watched it at the cinema.
That's amazing.
But normally I do say that about Jurassic Park. Like, I have seen Jurassic Park enough times in my life that I don't need to see it again.
That's a great question, though.
I just had one there and it's gone now. The thing is, I think you could. I think I had one a second ago and it just fucking jumped out of my brain. It's one that you mentioned a while ago, say about, do you want to watch this? And I was like, no, because I've seen it enough.
Thing is, I don't have those because I love rewatching stuff.
I like rewatching stuff, but there is certain films where I'm like, I don't think I ever need to rewatch that.
Nothing that I class as classic film.
But this is the thing. It's like if you're saying overseen, it's almost like you've watched it a lot in your life, and then it's I'm done. Versus one that you've watched once or twice, respect the fuck out of, and it's like, yeah, I'll never watch that again. Like it I suppose it's like two different questions there, isn't it? So overseen, it's like almost like one that you used to watch a lot, and you've reached a point in your life where it's like I'm done now. And what the fuck is that then?
The Harry Potter movies for me.
Yeah, I could agree with them that. I don't think I ever need to watch those again.
Do you know what? Star Wars Episode 4 and New Hope.
Yeah, the originals for me would be up there. I don't think I'll watch them again after my recent rewatch. Or the
specifically
prequels.
A New Hope, because there is an argument to say that it starts pretty fucking slow.
You said that when you watched it recently, which you're talking about more in future. Bastards.
When I managed to drag myself through Solo.
Yeah. But yeah, you said that, didn't you? That it was really slow.
I think I'll talk about it more when I talk about them. But yeah, that's a good shout though.
I'm trying to think. Oh, that's a really good question. But there has been like things like, for instance, I've seen Schindler's List a couple of times, but I'll never.
What do you think about the theme tune?
Theme tune's a banger, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I'll never watch that again.
But that's not one you've overwatched. That's just one that you don't like. Requiem for a Dream.
I've seen that a few times,
I've never seen Schindler's List. I just really like the soundtrack.
Weird one. Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that a lot. Yeah, when I was younger.
Fair play.
But if you was just now, do you want to watch Dick Tracy? And I'd be like, no. Beyond.
Framed Roger Rabbit would be there for me.
I see. I could rewatch that.
Fair enough. See, that's why it's so difficult for me, because I know at some point I'll go, I really fancy watching that man get run over by a steamroller.
All right, controversial. Controversial. You're both going to tell me off for this one, but for me, it's there. Scrooged.
Wow, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not I don't like the movie. I really like the movie, but I just kind of hit my limit. Don't know, in a few years' time, I might go, do you know what? I'm going to go back to that. But you watch it every year, don't you? And I can't.
Well, that's my issue with the Harry Potter movies. For a few years there, me and Isabel watched every Harry Potter movie over Christmas.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, now, we when she was back for Christmas last time, we were like, I said to her, do you want to watch the Harry Potter movies like we usually do? And she was like, oh, fuck no. Let's watch the Haunted Hill House again for the millionth time.
It's maybe stretching the definition a little bit, but 28 Days Later, I have watched that film a lot in earlier years. Like, there was a really concentrated period where over like 10 years, I'd probably watched that film like 10 times. But it's like, now I'm just at a place in my life where I don't need to live in that world.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I watched it a lot previously. Yeah, so episode 4, A New Hope, and 28 Days Later. Those are my answers.
Scrooged.
I'd add Weeks Later as well if I'd actually watched it more than like twice.
And our final question, Dylan Black Lantern says, after the recent changes in the alternate sites, what is the current state of film Twitter, and what evil shit did Ian do to have his account deleted? Was it some Jason Reitman related shit?
Oh, I didn't have my account deleted. I deleted my account and then went on Threads, was like, it's not scratching the itch. So I've gone back on X. And it's
Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter. So, yeah, apologies. Yeah, Twitter. And it's actually quite something. Because if you absolutely nuke that shit from orbit and then start again, like, you can just curate it a bit more. So I follow fuck all people. And because I follow fuck all people, it doesn't really know all that much what to recommend to me. So I just
So your For You page isn't just, oh look, here's some racism.
it's but like my follow, I just don't go on For You, and my following is just fuck all, and it's great, and it's just tweets that I want to see. It's not trying to do anything funky with the algorithm because it doesn't know me, and I barely go on it. I barely interact on it, but it's like every now and then I just have a look. But what I will say, they haven't launched it in the UK yet, but WhatsApp have just launched this new functionality called Channels, where you can just subscribe to things within WhatsApp. So like The Verge, which is like a tech site, has now got a WhatsApp channel where they're just like, yeah, whenever we've got like an article or something to discuss, we'll just stick it in this WhatsApp channel. And that's like, yeah, that's the kind of shit I want, where it's, I'm still getting alerted to things, but in a way where I am strictly defining what I want to see. There's no chance of an algorithm going, oh yeah, you might want to see this as well. No. I'm in this channel, just give me that. Like Discord's good for that as well, but Discord's also just people yabbering away.
Yeah, Discord's a bit of a forum throwback, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I didn't get my account deleted. I deleted my account, and I lasted like a month and a half.
I don't really interact too much with Twitter anymore as much. Occasionally I think that I maybe should, but it's the time element of it a little bit, and I can't be bothered having arguments with people as much as I used to when I was younger.
I don't have Twitter anymore.
You don't have Twitter anymore, and
I deleted it the day Threads launched.
And I don't think I've been logged into Threads for about a month.
That's the thing. Threads, they had that initial week or so, and then it just didn't have the juice. It just didn't have the juice.
It scratches the itch for me. I just go on to, like, most of the time when I go on or used to go on Twitter, I'd just look at like news articles that would pop up. I followed loads of journalists that I'd watched their opinions on things. I've just made sure to follow everyone I followed on Twitter, and that's all I need it for. I don't interact with it because I don't. Well, for a long time I didn't interact with it because it was just a bit of a toxic space. And I'd go on, get updated on things, and then leave. And I can do that on Threads.
Fair enough.
Without seeing loads of racists.
Nice.
And it's really, like, if you guys don't go on it very much, like, that just, or maybe it is in certain corners, but that seems to just not be fucking tolerated on there, because it's all nice Instagram people that are on Threads. It just, like, if someone comments on a post with something even like vaguely nasty, everyone's like, whoa, this is not the place for that. Get back to Twitter. This is we're keeping this shit friendly. Fuck off.
The thing is, what I will find that I occasionally, when I open my Twitter, is it will have gone onto the For You bit rather than the following bit, and I'll be scrolling it going, fucking hell. This is fucking bad. Oh, shit's on the For You bit. There we go.
Yeah.
Fling it back to the normal bit, and I scroll and go, nope, still the same.
I think the only times I've posted on Twitter in recent years is when it's like election night for something important, and I've stayed up late watching the live results come in, and it's just like you're sitting watching the world burn on your TV screen, and you have to say something to somebody and tweet. I
think the thing, my thing with Twitter is I get to put out my film opinions on this, so I don't put them out as much on Twitter, and I can't be bothered having football conversations on Twitter at all, because football Twitter may be one of the worst Twitters.
All Twitter is.
And and you know what the other bit there is? When I'm watching the football now, I will actually watch it rather than watching it half out of my eye and then telling people my opinions of what I've half seen.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, so, well, that was episode 508, guys. We might have a bit of a like put together show next week.
We could get wavy and discuss the Agatha Christie movie.
So yeah. So there's going to be that, but there will be a show.
Yeah, you two are going to do A Haunting in Venice, though, yeah?
Yes.
All right, cool.
We are going to see that on fucking Friday.
Are we?
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that, but I am game. Vibes. So yeah, we'll be doing that, and there might be other bits for that. But thank you much for listening, guys. Thank you much, Rebecca.
Thanks, Mark.
And thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you very much, folks. Speak to you in a couple of weeks if I don't before.
Yeah, and we'll be back as a team. We will reassemble for the Expendables. Are you doing a full rewatch, Ian? Because I think I am.
I think I might.
It's only 3 other movies.
I'm down.
Yeah. I'm going to go for that. Right. Thank you very much, guys. We shall speak to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I enjoyed that.
Good.
I really like if Haunting in Venice is another disappointing movie, I don't think I can take it.
Reviews have been good.
They've been all right.
Yeah, but it's the fact that they've not been bad.
Yeah.
I think is a win I'm willing to take right now.
It's just
It feels like a long time since we've had a new release that hasn't been underwhelming.
Oh, the top 10 at the end of the year is going to be a weirdly weak top 10 unless the next few months are a real banger.
Most disappointing is going to be a fucking breeze.
I've got high hopes for the last few months of this year.
I really hope
it may be unfounded, but I have got high hopes for a few movies.
Got The Killer, got Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yep. The Creator.
I am keen for The Creator, yeah.
You know, we've already had Vacation Friends 2.
Got Saw X.
I'm keen for that.
Weirdly looking forward to that, yeah.
I mean, but I mean, I'd like facetious like top 10 of the year, like. Right,
yeah, gosh, yeah. Do you know what? It's Saw X in the top of the year. Fuck me. That film will have to be an absolute banger.
Mark, it would have to be like 5 times better than the best Saw film.
Yeah, and I think that's a generous calculation as well.
God, yeah, generally, what a weak year.
I don't know if I agree. I think there's been some good stuff.
There's been some good stuff. 10. All right, Oppenheimer, Barbie.
Barbie won't be in my top 10.
I didn't mind.
I like what it's done for cinema, and then it's got people out there and stuff, and I really enjoy that dance sequence. But apart from that, it's
Gosling.
Yeah, the Baby Goose is fine.
Turtles might be high in my top 10. Actually.
I love that.
It genuinely might be.
But then also, isn't that a sign that?
Creed 3?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Creed 3. Yeah.
Oh God, We Have a Ghost was this year as well.
Oh, that's midnight disappointing, no fucking problem. Asteroid City will be up there for me, to be fair.
Yeah, Asteroid City could be up there for me.
Looking through this, I can't even find 10 that I particularly like.
All right, misery.
I'm in a bad day at work, guys. I'm in a bad mood.
Evidently.
Oh,
I just want to watch a movie and be blown away by it, and I think that's why I'm so disappointed by June being pushed back, because that was my high hope.
May I introduce you to a little film called The Little Mermaid?
What, with that nightmare fuel of a fucking fish?
He's a fucking wrong in that fish.
He's a bad dickhead.